Is it?
That's it. That's
Okay,
all
now
we
this
need.
is an extremely long agenda, so I want everyone to be very concise and alert.
Be on your toes.
The meeting will please come to order. This is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of the city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of the board is final in respect that it does not go to the mayor or the city council for any further action. If you do not agree with our decision, you have recourse on the court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of that type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Secretary, call the roll, please.
Ms. Darley? Mr. Ferguson?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Here.
Ms. Nevadas?
Here.
Ms. Powers? Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Mr. Hennessy?
Here. Okay, let's hear, is Jason Freeman here? Petition 2014-68.
Mr. Chairman, if I could read the staff report into the record. We've got, again, 2014-68, Jason Freeman. They are the contract purchasers of 900 East Washington. It's a special use permit to allow scrap metal processing, transfer and storage, and outdoor storage of semi-tractors, trailers, and storage containers. And under purpose, the applicant is requesting the approval of a special use permit to allow the relocation of an existing scrap metal processing, transfer, and storage facility known as ACE Scrap Metal Recycling. The former location is at 126 South St. Louis in the vicinity of the Gateway Transportation Facility. Due to the close proximity of the major transportation project, the city, and I should correct this, some of this language in here, it is not correct. The city is in the process of acquiring the site, and we're not acquiring it by eminent domain, but we are acquiring it by agreement. But they do need to relocate, so the ACE facility is therefore being relocated to the proposed site at 900 East Washington Street. Under site-specific information, the property consists of a vacant industrial building located on 6-acre site at the southeast corner of Washington and Boulder. The site is zoned I-1 light industrial. The petitioner plans to operate his business in a similar manner as the previous location. The existing 130,000 square foot industrial building will remain and will be utilized for interior storage. The industrial building buffers the planned outside storage and processing from the residential area west of the site. The petition was tabled in December, meeting due to concerns about the public notice sign that was posted. This case was filed in November. Surrounding land use and zoning, it's surrounded adjoining 1 and 2 family residential zoned R3 and B3 to the north, industrial zoned I1 and to the south, and zoned I2 general industrial to the east, and residential zoned R2 and R3 to the west. For applicable regulations, we're dealing with 4714-10, number 5, outdoor manufacture and storage, outdoor storage of cargo containers, and then 4714.2AF, special uses in all industrial districts. Comments from other city departments. The petition was reviewed at the Community Design Review Board. There are no subsequent comments from city departments, governmental agencies, or public utilities. For discussion, the applicant is requesting a special use permit to allow scrap metal processing, transfer and salvage operation, as well as outdoor storage of semi-tractors, trailers, and storage containers. The salvage and processing activities will take place within the structure and in paved yard located east of the warehouse. The days and hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30, Saturday from 8 to noon. 13 to 15 employees will work at the site. Adequate off-street parking for 13 cars is located at the north end of the site. And then the business will be wholesale operation only and will not be open to the general public. Should the board choose to approve the special use permit, staff's recommending the following conditions. Number 1, that adequate off-street parking for the 13 cars remain to serve the subject site. Number 2, that all salvage and storage operations be conducted within the existing warehouse or outside in the visually screened area. Number 3, that the structure shall not be expanded in the future. Number 4, that should the property be declared a public nuisance, subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation. And then lastly, number 5 was the 180-day period to commence the project. And that concludes the staff report.
For the record, show that Ms. Darley has arrived for the meeting. Our screens aren't working. Is there some problem here?
There must be some problem with
The screens.
the screens. I don't know if it's JCTV or what it is,
Okay.
but I did notify them, so I'm sure they're working on it.
And the problem with the advertising, that's been resolved.
That was resolved. I think the proper size signage was placed on the property.
Okay, so we've gone through this once before. This is under old business. Do you have anything new to add to your petition, sir? Wait a minute. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
I do.
Need your name and address.
Jason Freeman, 16557 West McKinsey Avenue, Lockport, Illinois, 60441.
Back to the original question. Got anything new to add?
Nothing of nothing of any value, no, sir.
Yeah, because we've already discussed most of this. Any questions from the board? You missed this last meeting, so do you have any questions?
No, just more personal. Was Jake your father or grandfather?
Grandfather, yes, sir.
I knew him pretty well. I spent a lot of time as a kid hauling papers and everything over there to get money to go to the movies.
That's he knew about probably 3/4 of the
I
people
believe
in
it.
Will
I
County, so
believe it.
I'm sure.
Seeing as we're establishing relationships, who was Sam Freeman to you?
That's my great uncle. My great uncle, yes, sir.
Yeah, he worked for our firm for quite a few years.
Right. I believe I've heard stories about
Anybody
that.
else want to discuss it? Well, this corrupt board is about ready to make a decision. Okay, now that we've established all these relationships, any other questions or comments? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in opposition? Is there anyone in favor besides Mr. Freeman? Okay, the chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
You have a lady raising her hand over
Oh,
there, Mr.
ma'am? This is for the property on Washington Street.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Ma'am, do you have comments? If you do, you need to come up to the microphone. You need to identify your name and address. Then the chairman will swear you in.
After the podium, please. Not the podium.
Hi, my name is, sorry,
You swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
I do.
Name and address.
My name is Rocio Gonzalez. I live at 207 Boulder Avenue, right kitty corner from the DeSoto Filtration Company.
Okay. And,
I received a notice that they were planning on building basically a junkyard right across the street from my house, so I was coming to see if there was like more information, because I came earlier and they didn't have any information.
who didn't have information?
Here at City Hall, they said I had to come to the meeting to hear the information.
Okay.
And like what were they planning on doing or
Well, he just,
insisted on.
you want to reread?
No, what I could do is maybe just summarize. First off, planner on the case is Barb Newberg, and I don't know if you saw Barb or not. I don't know who you talked to that said you had to come to the meeting. But Barb's the one that, the files are always open and available to anybody that wants to come see them anytime in advance. So if you have any specific questions, you could ask Barb. But
That's
just
Ms.
in,
Newberg right there.
yeah, it's over here. But just, what the proposal really is as you know, back, a year and a half or almost 2 years ago now, they shut down production over at the DeSoto Chemical Company, and they've had the building for sale, and without much prospect for anybody that wanted to go in there. At the same time, the city of Joliet's been doing the transportation project, and one of the things that we need for parking and for storm detention, we need a warehouse from the petitioners here that the city needs to acquire to make our project final. And so we spent about 2 years looking for alternative to that, and they set upon this building. And what they will do is they need a place to sort their scrap recycling metals, and it will all be done indoors, within the building. So the way you summarized it as being they're gonna build a junkyard there is not really the case. They're gonna warehouse, I guess, semi-precious metals within that building and sort them and then take them to market when the market is right. So I don't think you're gonna see much difference than what you've seen over there when DeSoto was in operation. So that's just a summary of what it is, just new owner, new use of the building. The thing that I think we need to take into consideration is, you can see they're gonna have parking out in the courtyard, I guess, between the two industrial buildings, away from the residential neighborhood. That's one of the things that we liked about this particular site, is that everything's gonna be sort of tucked away. The only access will be back off of Boulder or out the front gate out onto Washington Street. So again, from an operational standpoint, there won't be a lot of difference with their operation from what the DeSoto chemical people ran. They're just gonna be sorting the metal and storing it indoors.
Okay, so it's not something like the junkyard around the corner that
No.
trucks come in and drop stuff off and do all kinds of commotion?
No, Jason, I don't know if you want to talk about, you're still gonna keep this operation here for your, I guess you'd call it for your current accounts?
Right, I mean, we basically, as Jim said, we're losing effectively one of our buildings. Altogether, I think we have 7 or 8. Our main campus is gonna remain just south of the bus garage down here, where we're gonna bring all of our retail and commercial accounts, basically bring all the metal in there. The only thing this is gonna be for is, we're losing a little parking area, we're losing some warehousing. We're basically just trying to replace that. We may do a little bit more here than we do at our current building that we're losing, just for simplicity's sake. For example, like if we take something over here to store it rather than bring it back to process, if it's something that would be easier to cut up over there, we might do that, but it'd be something that would be, to be honest, I don't think that
Well,
anybody
let's
would
just-
even notice us being.
The comments directed to the lady to make sure that she understands that it's not going to be a junkyard.
No, it's not gonna be a fully operational
to lay her
junkyard like
words,
the,
yeah.
like the operation 2 doors down, no, sir.
Any other questions, ma'am?
Well, no, just 'cause we're just like wondering, you know, 'cause if it's like fumes and stuff like that, it'll be hazardous, not on, you know, I mean, there's a lot of kids that come out and play, so I didn't know if it was for them doing something like that, are they like planning on bringing something into the community or anything like that, like jobs or anything, offering jobs, anything that you offer to the kids, where like there'd be a lot of, you know, trucks coming in and out?
I mean,
we
we've-
do have kids that we close. I live at the dead end, so we close that street like on the weekends or after school, and we bring basketball hoops and the kids play out there. So that's my main concern. I know that most of the streets are like really streets because, you know, they all go on to Boulder or to Arizona. So if there's a lot of trucks, were there's any consideration, you know, like towards the kids, and like what are gonna be the hours of operation? I mean, during the day, I know the kids are in school by like after 3 o'clock, and they're gonna be home. Like,
All I can say is I don't see our operation really increasing traffic.
Probably
on-
less traffic than there was before.
Oh, I mean, there'll be much less traffic than when DeSoto was in operation there. It'll be mostly our own trucks. We don't currently have any plans to use the rail there. I
Your
mean,
hours of operation are?
8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, then 8 till noon on Saturday. Again, this isn't gonna be our main operation. We're gonna be there intermittently. We won't be there the entire time. We'll be there maybe 3 to 4 times a week, just moving material in and out.
That it? Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition or have any questions?
Over there.
Can I make, it's not in opposition, can I just ask one more?
Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes.
Your name and address?
Statesman IFB Pro Christopher W. Pedersen, 702 Vine Street, Joliet, Illinois, 605. I just have one question. What's the whole entire name of the business going to be? I just had that question.
We're Ace Iron and Metals Incorporated. We've been in Joliet for over 100 years.
Anyone else? Chair closes the petition, asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion, and a second, to approve the petition. Call the roll, please.
Ms. Darley?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Petition 2014-71, Alfonso Saucedo.
Mr. Chairman, what I'll do is, you have, the staff report is on the front of your packet, and what I'm gonna do is read the additional information under the old business
Just bring
portion,
us up
which is on the rear.
what transpired since the last meeting.
Okay, under additional information, please find the attached revised site plan for the proposed U-Haul rental facility, which was newly submitted. The proposal includes a parking plan for 8 trucks and 6 trailers and 3 tow dollies, 1 auto transporter, 1 pickup truck, and 1 delivery van, and there is a brochure that's attached. All rentals will remain in the back area. 35 customer and employee parking spaces will remain for general use, which should be adequate for the business. And then we go in right into the conditions portion, and it's the 180-day and the public nuisance conditions. But most importantly, you can see up on the screen, and I think it's attached in your packet, is the site plan that shows all of the trucks relocated to the back. The big difference is that before he was parking trucks along that, I guess would be the west side of the building, and now that's gonna be prohibited, so all the parking of all the vehicles will be in the back. And I think there was some slides, Jim, were they in their packet, the slides? Yeah, and this is all the relocated trucks relocated to the back. So they've squared off the parking spaces, and they're now not parking at an angle, they're all, I guess, in fashion, very much like the plan that you saw, and you can see the customer parking there along the side of the building where last time the picture showed that they were, the vehicles there, but now all the vehicles have been moved to the back.
So what staff is satisfied that with the
Yes.
customer parking, the employee parking, and what they can have 2 of these trailers in 1 parking space, from what I remember last meeting,
That's correct, we are.
that staff is satisfied with this?
We are.
Okay. I'm gonna swear you in. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
Could I have both your names and addresses?
Alfonso Salcedo, home address 26013 South Kankakee Street, Manhattan, Illinois.
Jose Alvarado from United Architects, 1002 Plainfield Road, Joliet.
Any comments you'd like to make in addition to what was stated at the last meeting?
Oh, we just moved everything in the back and actually worked better.
And you've worked things out with staff
Yes,
and
we
you're
have.
satisfied with everything and all the conditions?
As far as I know, yes, what I'll do.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
I have one question. Are there different hours for the U-Haul operation than the store?
No, we open at 7:30, we close at 10.
Okay.
Usually, U-Haul usually stops, rentals usually stop up by after 4 o'clock, there's hardly anything. Usually they start from 8 o'clock till noon. That's when they all pick up the trucks. When they drop them off is usually in the mornings.
Okay.
These dollies have license plates for trailers on them, don't they?
Yes.
And every time they're hooked to a vehicle to be taken away, they're using 2 parking spots, one for the vehicle and one for the dolly, right?
When they hooked up to the vehicle, and
They use 2 parking spots. Nobody parks, in other words, wherever that truck parks or vehicle parks, it pulls the dolly, it takes 2 places. One for the vehicle and one for the dolly. You can't put the vehicle and the dolly in the same place, right?
no. No,
So
the
then they
dollies
will
belong
take
to
their
the-
own separate space
All
every
separate.
time they're used.
Now, you're talking about the customer picking it up, or when-
Customer picking it up or the customer bringing it back or just sitting there waiting for the customer to pick up, it takes up 2 parking spots.
But there's no need to park, they just hitch it on and take it away.
It's never that fast though.
Well, I mean, it's
5 minutes.
10 minutes of
Or less.
attending the customer, sign the papers, and
But many times you've
Oh,
got
you're
people
talking when the
place
customers
an
don't pick it
order
up,
and
usually
you
the
have them
customer
ready.
The customer usually comes and parks in the front. They walk in, they do their other paperwork, and when they go back to hook up, it takes me anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes.
If you needed extra ones, how long does it take you to get another one?
extra
A trailer or a truck or whatever?
dollies. I'm actually not working. I don't know if you've been by there. I don't really have many more, the trailers. I asked U-Haul to serve me so they can see and actually have a picture of what it is. But if you go by there since after the New Year's, we only have about 5, 6.
But if you needed another one, how long does it take you to get one?
It could take me a week.
It takes you a week to
It-
get
it all
another
de- it all
trailer
depends
or
on
a truck
traffic.
or whatever?
Because you can't really get the auto transporters. They usually go to the main U-Haul office. The big trucks and the main transporters usually go to the one on Route 59. Because usually they get
Do they
rented out
bring
by
them to
people
you
that
or
wanna
do you go after them?
cross-state. We don't have the cross-state trucks.
Do they bring them to you or do you go after them?
If I needed one, I would go after it.
Okay,
go
so
pick
you
it
can
up
go
to the-
after it any time.
Yeah, I would go to their, depending, Route 59 or I believe the other one's in Bolingbrook.
So Sean's Estate considers those trailers, that's why they have a trailer plate on them. Why should we consider those dollies and not trailers, which is what they are?
Oh, the dollies don't have plates.
The dollies have plates, every one has plates. You
the
just told
dollies?
me at the beginning that the dolly even
The
had
auto
a trailer
transporter
plate.
does.
The auto transporter is the ones you hit,
You don't have the paper?
well, I attached to the paper, the ones that you load the car on top to haul a truck or a car behind you. The dollies are the ones you just hitch up to a hitch and.
So that's the two-wheel ones where the front tires sit on top of the dolly? Those do
don't
not have
plates.
those do not have license plates.
They don't, no,
But the four-wheel trailers that you drive your car onto does have a license
those
plate.
have plates.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Sorry, I
dollies are the
misunderstood
ones,
which one.
There's a picture of the dollies stacked up in the very
you can see
corner.
like 3 separate
Yes,
tires.
but I also went by and I seen a license plate on one of them.
Dollies?
Probably on the, again, on the auto transporters, which are the ones right next to the fence.
Again, they're considered trailers by
What's
state.
your objection here, though?
Well, I feel that that should be included with the trailers, cause that's what the government
Well,
feels
we're
that
going
they
up
are.
with what they're calling it. I mean, that's what they,
The
that's-
government calls toll dollies.
we're not making up the names.
One is toll dollies, and the other ones are auto transporter. That's the way the government has them. Yeah, the toll dollies don't need plates. The auto transporters, yes, because they're required to plate.
Alright, well, I seen plates on them.
All right, I don't know then. I got a toll dolly at home and I don't have a plate on it. I used it before.
Any other comments or questions? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition, asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval. Call the roll.
Mr. Ferguson?
As long as the staff is satisfied that everything meets the specifications, then I vote aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevades?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
And every one of these will be left in the back, right? There won't be anything up front? Aye.
Ms. Darling?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen. Anything from the board or from staff?
No, we just have approval of the minutes from the December 18th, 2014 meeting.
A motion would be in order to approve the minutes of last meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting sits adjourned. It'll stand adjourned.
And then, Mr. Chairman, our filing deadline for zoning board of appeals is tomorrow at noon, so as of right now, I don't know that we have any cases in. We'll know tomorrow.
We have a.
So what, next month there may not be a meeting?
I was surprised there wasn't gonna be a meeting for this one, but we had these two that were held back, so
Well, if there's no meeting, I hope you at least write to us.
we will. We will.